Welcome to the Uncle Hack Podcast, where dudes pretty much just talk dude shit.
Welcome to another episode of the Uncle Hack Podcast, the most entertaining, the most sought-after podcast in all of Canadian lands, Canadian produced, right here in the homeland of, that's right, Edmonton, Alberta. Edmonton, Alberta. Stand up. Stand up. Okay, stand-up dates, September 29th, Salmon Arms. September 30th, we will be in Kelowna. October 1st, Kamloops. Early show is sold out. We just added a late show to that. October 7th, Roast Battles are back in Calgary, Alberta, at Yuck Yucks. Ticket link is not up yet, but it is on not on our site, but it is on Yuck Yuck's site. October 14th, Edson, Alberta. October 15th, Olds, Alberta. If you have a venue or, maybe a town, city, fuck, wherever, hamlet, we don't give a shit. You got a rally, a birthday party, maybe a golf tournament you want the fellas to show up to, just shoot me an email at unclehack@dangercats.tv. Same email that we've been asking you to send our hate mail to, and still have received very little, I may add. No, actually, when I say that we received very little, we have received none whatsoever. No hate mail. Nobody wants to talk some shit on me, I guess. I guess, maybe, just maybe, the internet isn't filled with so much hatred towards individuals. Maybe, just maybe, it's all fabricated. Outrage porn, as they say. I don't know. We'll see here. But I did want to start the episode with this. Now, this isn't so much hate mail, but it's making somebody uncomfortable in a work truck. And I received this over the weekend, and I thought it was quite funny. Uncle Hack, just wanted you to know that I listen to your podcast every week on our way home from the rigs in Wyoming. Shout out to the rigs in Wyoming. And a couple of the pronouns ride in the truck with us and completely love it. Oh, and we completely love it when you talk shit about them. They get so uptight in the back seat and can't do shit about it. Please mention something about Wyoming rigs and pronouns one of these days. We will surely hear it and make them uncomfortable as hell. Isn't that something? The pronoun. Imagine showing up to a rig and be like, hello, my name is Jared. I'm your lease hand for the day. My pronouns are he/they. Yeah, and you are fi/erd. Get the hell out of here. Oh my God. That shit's got there. That's where we're at now. It's now gotten to the rigs. I figured that would have took another 10 years before we started adapting out there. Fellas, come on. Jesus Christ. God, I know that we're in a shift in emotions and beep, boop, beep, boop, but I just still have this old guard way of thinking, and I can't lean into that. My pronouns are she/her, and I'm a settler on treaty whatever land. Give it a rest. No one cares, which we're going to talk about that because somebody in the Green Party here in Canada got misgendered. That's why I wanted to start with this. Pronouns are very important. Right? Because sometimes the eye can be deceived. We've all seen those lesbians that wear the super tight sports bras that look like a prepubescent teen, right? We've all seen them walking around and, hey, buddy, actually, I'm a girl. It's like, fuck. Well, if the shoe fits, and you get yourself caught up in those situations from time to time, and it's difficult, you know? It's difficult. It's tough to walk around in those waters and play by their rules when in just like, that's the old man in me. That's my grandpa speaking through me beyond the grave. And even the one that's still alive. is that old guard, just shut the fuck up. No one cares about your bullshit unless it's entertaining to talk about. Move on, please. Did you do anything fun? No. Did you do anything fucked up? No. Did you consume anything that could possibly fuck you up? No. All right. Conversation ended. Moving on. But I have this very progressive way of thinking, and I have these. I don't know. Maybe I should bail on that one. But I have this idea of how the world should look, and I just want to put it down your throat. You know, it's kind of like, it's almost like it's word rape in a way. Isn't it not? Is it not? Is that what it is in a way? It's like word rape. We're like forcing this upon you. You're like, take this. And you're like, no, I don't want to. That's a bit extreme, isn't it? It's a bit extreme to talk about. I hope I hope those little pronouns in the back of the fucking work truck are, gross. What happened? What happened? Where did it, I understand that universities really try to pump out these theories in how we can get better, but you know what? Sometimes you peak, right? Sometimes you peak. It's like an athlete's career. You know, you're never going to see a 60-year-old in the NHL putting up 80 points a season, right? You're just not going to, maybe us as a species, we peaked 2009. Let's go 2009. We peaked, you know. We just got out of the 90s. A lot of crazy shit happening there. We're starting to move forward a little bit, and we found that sweet spot, and it was good, I think. But what do I know, right? I just comment on things like the rest of the fucking retards in this world that just want their opinions heard. We want to feel loved too, you know? Maybe if I was hugged a little bit more, maybe if my dad played catch with me in the backyard, I'd be a little bit different. I wouldn't be so angry at kids now, despite not having children. Is the funny part. It's too annoying. I can't listen to this shit. And like, are you ever going to have kids? I don't think so. I think the future is quite grim, if I'm being honest, you know, and I hate to be one of these doom and gloom type, you know, assholes that really lean into it, but I just don't see it getting better anytime soon. Maybe like the one after that, the generation after that. I think that this one coming up is going to fuck everything up. You're seeing like just street interviews. Now I understand like you got to take that with a grain of salt, right? You see these interviews of like kids and how dumb they actually are. One of them, there's another smart kid out there that isn't as retarded, you know? So you have to kind of like weigh that. We really want that. We want everybody to seem stupid as hell so we can be like, see, this is what's going to be fucking everything up for us, you know? Like, for instance, I'm watching these little interviews on the street and these kids can't answer like simple things. They'll be like, what state is Wyoming in? And they're like, New York? And they're like, pfft. It's just trick questions to make them look dumber than, hey, what year was the Civil War fought in? It's American history that they should know. And I don't know it, so I can't sit here and be like, ooh. I think I'm not going to shoot in the dark because then that's a clip and be like, you don't even fucking know it. But with all that being said, let's get into our first article of the day. You know, after I just put all this negativity out there, I want to bring you back to a positive story here that I found that I feel like we need to discuss on this podcast. It's right up our alley. It is right up our alley and how we think and how we feel as men, right? First off, hello. The headline reads, nursing home hires stripper for seniors in wheelchairs. We are very sorry. I don't think that's something that, first off, let's watch the video. This is, you know, let's get that going. Oh, hold on. I'll give you a little commentary on top of it. Okay, first off, I believe this is in Taiwan. All right, this is in Taiwan, and nursing home. We'll read the article together, but here we have like a circle of elder gentlemen, you know, late in their years, right? And we got a young lady here, what I would say, stripping, the backbone of Alberta. It is. It's the backbone. It keeps us level-headed here, Like some people don't know how to act inside strip clubs, and that's on them. But as far as it goes when it comes to the profession of peeling off clothes, you know what? God bless them. That's a tough job if you think about it. Think about you as a man having to peel down and shake your wang. And I'm not packing enough and I don't got a decent piece. There'd be a lot of stuffing and I wouldn't want to do the full reveal. I'm not going full Monty on him. I'm giving him maybe a quarter Monty. And I'm going to have to half chub it, tie off, make sure the blood don't leave the hog, That's all the blood that's going in. Because you don't want to be fully torqued. Because that's just weird, Dancing with a boner is just weird. Especially in the nude. A hard dick, while there's something off there. You shouldn't be rubbing a hard hog as a male stripper. Half hard. At most, half hard. But anyways, let's get back to this. There's a semicircle of elder gentlemen sitting here watching one lady give them a little bit of a show. This is great. She comes in, just throws the hammers in this old dog's face. You know what? Here is an exact example of what the older fellas want. You think you want the kumbaya guitar playing fucking loser singing hymns on an acoustic guitar comes through? No. Are you kidding me? Those old guys are sick and tired of the same shit. You know what? They're going to be talking about this for quite some time. Hey, guess what, guys? We brought in Kathy, who's going to do arts and crafts with you today. We're going to learn how to paint a beautiful sailboat in the middle of the ocean all together. Now get your pens and pencils out and your little paintbrushes and we're going to begin. No, they don't want that. Jesus Christ. You're treating these fucking guys like they're toddlers, like it's kindergarten all over again. Bring in a dancer. Let these guys enjoy the last leg of their life exactly how they imagine it in their head. They brought in a stripper for these fellas. I don't know what the older ladies want, but if me as an old man, if I can guess how I'm going to be in the future, it's probably going to be, there's a little bit of this that's going to carry on. I'm not going to have a wig full of wisdom that I'm going to shed upon the youth. No, I'm going to be sitting there. I don't want to sit there and talk to some fucking dweeb. How's your day going? How the fuck do you think? I shit my pants 3 minutes ago. Now I'm sitting in this wheelchair with some dweeb, some nerd that I used to pick on back in high school. I look at you and I'm thinking fuck, if I could just walk, I could beat you up. This is what these guys want. These are what the old guys want. Give them what they want. This rules. That's really loud. They're clapping. Yeah. Oh, he gave her hammers a squeeze. Oh, yeah, the old guy in the back corner there, he's got a look like, fuck, when's it my turn? When's it my turn? When's she going to wheel down this way? Speed it up. Larry's had his hands on the hammers now for over 3 minutes. Move along, sister.
Come on, man.
That's exactly what he's thinking, Boozy. Oh, this is so funny. Oh, yeah. Look at this. Yeah, even pulls the hand downstairs. Look at the caretakers in the background just loving it. She's got the iPad out, filming everybody. This is exactly what the old boys want. Give them what they want. When I'm an old man, I hope to God, please, dear God, I know I'm not going to have grandkids, but I hope maybe some of you have kids. And I hope we get to a place in our relationship as maybe podcaster or whatever I may be. And you guys surprise me with something like this. It's even if it's your kids, listen, there's this old comedian that I used to really enjoy. And what I want you to do is take a little time out of your day. You don't even need to go down there. Just take a little time. Hire, a hooker. I don't give a fuck what it is. Just let me stare at it. And that's all these guys want. Clapping. They're having a good time. Oh, that's beautiful. All right. No, we don't want this. We do not want this. We don't care what happened at the Emmys. All right. Let's read the article together. Why don't we? Huh? Why don't we do that? This probably wasn't a proper set. This wasn't a proper setting to set pulses racing. Shut up. Who wrote this? Over under a woman? I'm taking the over on a woman. Andrew Court. Oh, no. A nursing home has been forced to apologize for hiring a stripper to perform for senior citizens in wheelchairs. The Taiwan Veterans Home. Oh, so they're veterans. A state-run facility for retired Army personnel in Taiwan paid the adult entertainer for a steamy show to celebrate Mid-Autumn Festival, an important holiday in Chinese culture, whereby people gather to celebrate the rice and wheat harvests of the season. Jesus Christ. You know what? It's kind of similar over here. You know, I know some fellas that get together at the end of harvest and they go drinking. And usually, what does that mean in Canada? Where do you usually end up in a night drinking? You know, you want to end up somewhere. You're going to have a little fun. So you more than likely are going to end up at the Peelers, but instead they brought the Peelers here. Genius. That's so awesome. Fuck. That's how they treat their veterans in Taiwan. We need to save Taiwan. This is how they're treating their veterans. You know what? We can't even get them a fucking decent pension here in Canada, and they're bringing down strippers for these guys. Something incredibly wrong. You know what? While my grandfather was on his deathbed, God rest his soul, it would have been beautiful for me as a grandson to offer this type of treatment as he was exiting the earth as a veteran. You know, my grandpa served in the Navy here in Canada and save your military jokes. But this is something, this is the level of treatment that's happening to veterans over there in Taiwan, okay? Here, we're like, just shut the fuck up. You got PTSD. What do you mean you're fighting for freedom? It is kind of funny. Like, I enjoy watching the Ragecast with Jeremy McKenzie. Shout out to Diagolon. I do enjoy watching him. And he does make a good point that any veterans that the CBC will talk to, the one guy was a fucking chef. No time served overseas, and they congratulate him for standing out and being like, "This, I'm against the trucker." That guy isn't. I'm a fucking veteran. You know what? I've battled bacon grease. I've taken the wrath of bacon grease splattering on me hot as hell. Where's my purple fucking heart? But meanwhile, veterans that have served over in Afghanistan, Kuwait, wherever it may be, they've done their tours. Some have done multiple tours. They're like, this guy's evil. He doesn't deserve anything if he wants to be against the state. Then we go over to Taiwan. And these veterans right here get the respect they deserve. This is beautiful. We should adopt a little bit of the Asian culture. Not all of it, just some, okay? We're not going to go full board here. We're not going to, or full bore. Oh. Anyways, onward. Video of the raunchy performance, which took place last Thursday, was filmed by an attendee before it was posted to social media and quickly went viral. Well, of course. The kinky clip shows the masked up erotic dancer clad in lacy lingerie, giving one elderly man a lap dance and thrusting her breasts into his face. Now they're trying to make it sound like this is horrible. Why are we not interviewing the old man? Why are we not talking to him about how he feels instead of the internet outrage? I can't believe they would do this to the old man. Oh my. Here we go. Now we're talking. The man doesn't appear to mind, however, can be seen squeezing the woman's assets as she enthusiastically rides his body I don't know if I said that. Rice. Other nursing home residents clapped along enthusiastically, seeming to relish the raunchy show. Yeah. The fellas are having fucking fun. I know it's been a while since we got out there in the world and seen what fun looks like through the eyes of a man that is a veteran, that served the country. I know, I know that we've kind of shoveled toxic masculinity into the brains of every NPC that's waltzing the streets as if this doesn't exist in the world, right? We want everybody to believe that this type of behavior doesn't exist in the world. Like gentlemen don't like this. Yeah, there's men out there that don't enjoy this type of. Yeah, well then there's men that do, and these guys put on some camo and served the nation, and now we have a backlash, if you will. But the senior care facility was hit with backlash. Where's the backlash coming from? And subsequently released a statement saying the intention of the event was to entertain residents and make them happy. We are very sorry for the offense that was caused. And I'm guessing, you know what? This is a perfect example of just mind your own fucking business, Mind your own goddamn business. Did all of those elder gentlemen sitting around watching this raunchy show, this quote unquote raunchy show, did they seem bothered? Did they seem upset, offended, if you will? All the words that the internet is using about the scenario, did any of those guys give you any sort of feel that they didn't want to be there? No. Shut the fuck up. Let them enjoy their time, okay? Now, did they need to film it and put it on the internet? Probably not. I don't think they needed to go that far. I don't think that was necessary. But we also want to show that we're taking care of our veterans. So I stand behind this move. Oh, yeah, there he is. The old boy's just got his hands on the hammers. Where's the one? There's okay. Okay, here we go. This is good. A nursing home spokesman added that Mid-Autumn Festival parties had been canceled at the nursing home the previous years due to COVID. To lift resident spirits, they arranged for the stripper to perform a show. Hey, well done. We applaud that move on this show. Well done. However, they conceded that the erotic dancer's actions were too enthusiastic and fiery, and that they would be more cautious when planning such events in the future. How about this? They need the yonder bags that we have at our shows, locking up the phones, We need those here so the old guys can have a good time. Send them some yonder bags, all phones in the yonder bags. The fellas are about to have a little fun. And fuck off, okay? No recording iPads, or no iPads recording the quote-unquote raunchy show. Let the guys have a good time. They said there was also a more sedate game of bingo and some karaoke in an adjoining nursing hall. Imagine that. It'd be like, hey, Carl and the fellas just get out of the stripper show. And they go down the hall and be like, how did you celebrate the Mid-Autumn Festival? Well, we sang karaoke and played bingo. What did you guys do? Well, you're going to hate me. They brought in this young, tight 24-year-old, and we all got to bury our faces in her tits. Pardon me? You what? I said they brought in this young stripper with perky tits, and we all got to bury our face in them. And I spent my afternoon playing fucking bingo. Video shows that the residents and the stripper remained COVID safe at all times, however, keeping face masks on throughout the erotic show. And then you scoot down, and the old man has he's Donald Trump in her pussy right now. I grabbed her right by the pussy. I wish I had that sound bite right now. This is beautiful. This is exactly what these guys need. She's smiling. She's having a good time. Oh, fucking A. The Mid-Autumn Festival is one of the most important holidays in Asian culture. In China, the celebration is marked by reunions, thanksgiving for harvests, and a prayer for good fortune. The annual event, which falls this year on September 10th, is also known as the Moon Festival and the Mooncake Festival. Well, they were mooncaking some titties in that old boy's face, let me tell you. And we applaud that kind of behavior here on this podcast. With this brand, you know, we've stood behind and sat in front rows for many years. For those danger cats that are out there, you know, we've shelled out our fair share of loonies, and for this right here, for dancers to go and pay their respects to veterans, the ever so fellas that we support and we stand up for, and that we respect what they do for us, is, you know, something worth applauding, something worth considering. You know, your life is worthless, right? My life is worthless. But veterans fought for our freedom. And what? We can't send a few strippers, we can't send a few peelers down to the veterans' homes? Huh? We can't do that for the fellas? Those that put on combat boots, went overseas and fought? We can't do that? No. We yell at anybody here. You're a Nazi. You're a Nazi. Oh, you're a conservative? You're a Nazi. It doesn't matter if you fought in the war. It doesn't matter that you were in combat. You're a Nazi. Oh, what's the matter? You got PTSD? You're going to shoot up somewhere? No, they pay respects over there in China to their goddamn military. Unlike us. Wow. And you wonder why the Chinese are taking over the world. Simple things like that. God damn, that is beautiful. That is beautiful. That's the good news. The even better news, the Queen is dead. And we get a holiday here in Canada because we're still under the monarch. And get this, you're not going to believe this. On that holiday, they're going to fly her casket over, right? They're going to fly her casket over, and Mr. Beast is going to offer $1 million to the last person in Canada to keep their hand on the casket. Could this festival last 3 days, 4 days, 5 days? We don't know how long it's going to last, but Mr. Beast needs some content, and he wanted to do something a little family friendly for us up here in Canada. He hasn't been up here to do anything, you know, with Canadian culture and with us being under the monarch. He figured, hey, why don't we fly the Queen's dead body over to Canada? And they're going to do it on Capitol Hill out in, Parliament Hill out in Ottawa. The casket's going to be there. And last person to have their hand on the casket, and it'll take as long as it needs, right? It'll take as long as we need to find out who's going to walk away with $1 million after Mr. Beast flies over here with the Queen's dead body. King Charles or Frank or whatever, whoever's taking her place will be the judge. They're going to sit on a panel and they'll review it every morning. If somebody, you know, if we consider that a hand is off, he's going to judge it, right? Second place gets a free 2-liter bottle of adrenochrome so they can further their life by 20 years. Signed by King Richard, King Frank, King Charles, whatever his name is. We got a lot of work to do. We gotta reprint our money up here. This should be a process. That's why you get the day off. They need to take all the money out of circulation and put the new money in. So it's gonna take a few days, but we'll get back on track. You know, think of it as like a little treat, another COVID treat. You know, the Queen's gone. You get another day off, and Mr. Beast is going to make some content highlighting the wonderful lands of Canada. He's going to come up here with his little film crew. They're going to do little vlogs. It's going to be very cute. It's going to be very nice. It'll be good for the country. It'll bring the morale back up. Time for a little ad read. DangerCatShop.com for all your merch and tour dates, tickets to shows are all on there right now. All the dates that I mentioned earlier in the episode, you can get tickets to the shows at DangerCatShop.com. Use the promo code for merch to get 15% off your order, podcast 69. All merch is on there right now. Currently in the middle, kind of beginning stages of coming up with some new designs for the store. Everything is on there right now. At shows, we don't necessarily have all of our stock with us, so the website is the best way to get whatever you want that we have besides hats. We take all the hats with us to live shows. Yeah, that was gay. Patreon.com/DangerCat69. You can get this episode that you're listening to right now 48 hours earlier than all the peasants that wait for it for free. Isn't that something else? You also get an extra episode every week. Also video. Also in video format. The Uncle Hack podcast is the best podcast, and you can get an extra episode of it every week on our Patreon. Plus, all of our roast battles are on there. Once we get on the road, we'll have a little bit more behind-the-scenes footage of what happens with us. I'm really trying to film more, so that way we have tons of behind-the-scenes shit with Sam, Brett, and I. What we're talking about, what we get up to on the road. This BC tour, we will be sure to film a lot of stuff while we're all together, so it'll be a lot of fun. But yeah, anyways, back to the episode. You know, speaking of the morale being brought back up, you know, this is something that just happened in, you know, this is what's happening in Canada. Let's bring the mood back down. Earlier in the show, we talked about the Pronouns, right? Or some guy wrote in about the Pronouns, the Wyoming rigs there, right? Well, this is what's happening in Canada, okay? Pronouns, mispronouncing somebody is equal to slaughtering a family in a movie theater, you know? It's as equal to that. It is violence. Words are violence these days, and they need to be taken serious. And the National Post here in Canada is reporting on Canadian politics. Misgendering incident plunges Green Party of Canada into renewed turmoil. In a Zoom appearance to kick off the party's leadership contest, interim leader Amita Kuttner was identified by she/L pronouns instead of they/them. This is the national headline here. I'm not even doctoring this one. This is, you know, we hear about the ferryman tales, right? And you read this and you think to yourself, no, this can't be real. This cannot be real. This has to be the ferryman. And he's up to no good. You know, he's up to no good. But no, Tristan Harper reported this 10 hours ago. It's a 3-minute read, so we're going to get into it. Just 1 year after its partial meltdown during the 2021 federal election, the Green Party of Canada is once again in crisis over an incident of, and they put misgendering in quotations, which is kind of funny. It all started at a September 3rd media event in Vancouver. Surprise, surprise. Kicking off the party's leadership contest in a Zoom appearance, interim leader Amita Kuttner was identified as a caption bearing the pronouns she/L. What is L? I'm not up to date with this. I'm really trying. It's so hard. Kuttner, 32, identifies as non-binary. Imagine being a grown-ass adult and this is what's setting you off. That's gotta hurt. identifies as non-binary and pansexual, attracted to all genders and orientations. They had to put that in brackets so that way we knew what the fuck they were talking about, and goes by they, them pronouns. In a subsequent statement, Kuttner slammed the misgendering, saying the incident made me feel hurt and isolated, and hinted that it was reflective of a larger pattern of behaviors that a few people in the party are perpetuating. The statement added, in moments like these, I wonder, how can I ensure other people's safety if I can't even ensure my own? And you wonder why you guys get one seat in the House of Commons. I can't imagine, I can't even come up with any idea why these assholes can't get more seats in any sort of governing bodies. I just can't quite put my finger on it. It couldn't possibly be the fact that they can't even get over them fighting with one another. By the time they get over that, they got to take on the world. They got to take on the world and all its violence. This podcast sucks today. I am so fucking tired. I'm not going to lie. Sunday beat the shit out of me. 2 shows back to back. Your boy did a half an hour on stage, roughly rounded up, just shy of a half an hour on 2 shows. And boy, oh boy, it felt good. It felt good. We recorded it. I'll talk about that later. We'll talk about it at the end of the episode. The statement added, in moments like these, I wonder how can I... Okay, we said that. Kuttner's statement was followed by a joint letter signed by leadership candidates as well as the party's 2 MPs, Elizabeth May and Mike Morris, calling for a restorative process to root out harassment within the Greens. September 3rd incident. This is their January 6th. This is their January 6th. This is a catastrophe in their world. Somebody came in, mispronounced one of these sons of bitches, and completely ruined the whole ethos of the party. By one little slip up. That's all they had to do was read on the fucking, when on the Zoom meetings, you got your name and the new thing now is to put your pronouns there so nobody can botch that. That's all they had to do. And they must have, it was an accident. It's tripwire, baby. Perfect timing for that. The September 3rd incident was but the latest in a number of similar behavioral patterns that Dr. Kuttner has faced. This is a doctor? Jesus Christ. Faced throughout their tenure, it read. Green Party President Lorraine Reckmans was the first to resign, a volunteer who estimated that she worked 40-hour weeks for the past year on the party's business. Reckmans implied in a Saturday resignation letter that the leadership candidates were subtly blaming her for the she/L mistake. Oh, imagine that. Now what? Now what's going to happen? Who's going to find somebody to work? Now we got to find another person to work for us for free. Who's going to work for us? Nobody wants to play by our rules no more. Beep, boop, beep, boop. The joint letter explicitly cleared Reckman of responsibility for the incident. Reckmans wrote that she is constantly distracted by claims of harm. So fed up. That's what it seems like that's more common, is more people are now leaving this. It's too much. It's a snake that's eating itself, and now people are like falling off. And they're like, we don't want to deal with this no more. I don't want to be a part of this. It's just screaming and yelling. And I'm never happy. I'm constantly reading a new update in the manual of wokeness to keep up to whatever the hell is next. Today it's pronouns. Tomorrow it's I misgendered a fruit, And I don't mean that in like a sneaky, sly way of calling someone gay. I just mean that in a way of like, an actual fruit. You called an orange a banana, you know? Oh, I thought that grapple was actually an apple. Seeing as it is the Green Party. God, this shit it gives me a headache. That's how it ends. It's just one lonesome idiot, you know? It happens on both sides, left and right, you know? It's like the QAnon shit. There's always like a few people that hang on. Same with like this. There's going to be a few people that are going to hang on to the Green Party and still think that they're doing something great. And then you're boiled down to like 3 people that fucking hate each other's guts because they can't figure out which rules we're applying it to, because everybody's got their own individual rights and own individual sayings and own individual thoughts on how we should speak to one another. So then those ideas are going to bash together because we can't come to a group decision. It's similar. Yeah, it's literally like that. And then you're left with 3 maniacs yelling and screaming into the void why nobody wants to give them any time of day. 0 time of day. Crystal Brooks. Okay. Crystal Brooks, the Ontario representative of the party to the party's federal council, also resigned in a lengthy Facebook post. Wow. They're just falling off. Brooks criticized the party for continuing its leadership race while candidates were calling for an investigation into systemic harm within the party. Oh my God. You don't even need to make fun of it because it's just hilarious on its own, you know? Systemic harm. The contest should have been postponed pending the investigation, wrote Brooks. Jesus Christ. As everyone in the Crystal Brooks on Facebook, as everyone in the Green Party of Canada now knows, federal council voted to hold the leadership contest in an investigation into systemic issues simultaneously rather than postpone the contest pending the investigation. I, as a voting member of federal council, truly felt I was voting in the best interest of the party. At the time, I was. After so much has come to light after my reflection, I see now that the vote I cast was influenced and manipulated. Oh boy. Isn't that nice? You know what? I have been verbally abused, harassed, tokenized, victimized, racialized, marginalized, treated like an incompetent child, treated as less than for simply daring to say I survived sex trafficking, told to go back to my reserve, and so much more during my time. What is this about? I guess I should have read more. Politics, and you know who stood by me throughout all of this, and more. Goddess on the Loose, the Federal Council of the Canadian Greens, and so many of the GPC Greens. I don't jump for interviews with the media because they further tokenize me for a buck. I will never be a good politician because I honor the 7 grandfather teachings and I am incapable of acting without consideration to those values and the integrity I hold for myself. Okay, that's enough of this. Why am I reading this? Why did I get to see this? Even I get sucked into this shit. It's just, they use identity politics in the worst way. It's like, I want to use it to further me, but then the moment that it has some backlash and, you know, my, I guess my victimization of my identity then bites me in the ass by trying to use these paths to, essentially manipulate people into making them feel as if they're a bigot is incredibly insane. You always hear this. I say this like you always hear this, but you do hear it from time to time that there's like an article like this pops up and you sit back, you try to read it for what it is. And it's just like, oh, well, I was victimized. I'm a victim. It's victimhood mentality and trying to use it to further them in their own life. And meanwhile, like no one cares. No one really cares, do they? Is anybody out there truly giving a shit about this type of stuff other than those that are like, it's basically them barking at one another trying to climb the totem pole to be the head like of it, the head of the totem pole. It seems like it strikes me like that. I don't know. Again, I'm tired. I'm hungry. And I got another fucking 17 minutes to go. This one's a battle for me today. Holy shit. Oh, what's this? Oh, Nick McQuick just sent me something here. What is it? Oh, a little attachment here. What do we got? Oh, this is beautiful. Oh, isn't this nice? Isn't this nice? What do we got here? Something from the Tabor Police Department. These are always good. But I loved tuning into my hometown. It is truly beautiful, the news that comes out of there. What has he got for me? The Tabor Police Service posted what looks to be a screenshot from either their Facebook or Twitter. Looks like Facebook, sorry. At about 5:45 p.m., Tabor police responded to a complaint of an armed robbery at a local corn stand. That's how good the corn is. That is how good the corn is. Multiple officers responded and assisted with the investigation to assist the victim. No physical injuries were reported. The suspect fled on foot and an RCMP K-9 unit was called to assist. Tabor police are actively investigating and would like to thank the public and the citizens on patrol for their assistance. We are not releasing any more information at this time. Doesn't say that, but I summed it up. At 9:15. Okay. That's just... here we go. Back to back. At 9:15 p.m., Tabor police officers responded to a 911 call of yelling and screaming with possible shots fired in the 5800 block of 50th Street. Officers have one adult male in custody for assault against a Tabor adult female. It was determined no shots were fired. The investigation continues and no further information will be released at this time. Dude, first off, there's a fucking holdup at the corn stand. That's how good the corn is. I'm telling you. I've talked up the corn for quite some time now. And a lot of people dismiss how wonderful the corn is across these lands. And this right here should tell you exactly for what it is. They are willing to hold up a corn stand and steal the corn. Because that's how great it... Now, yes, I get it. Oh, you idiot. You don't think that he stole the money? Of course I know he stole the money. Because the money isn't... It's second place. Of course you're going to steal the corn and the money. But what I'm really trying to tell you right now is that's the level that people will go to. If you are short funds, you will go to the great lengths of holding up a goddamn corn stand to ensure that you get a couple cobs for supper that night. That is how delicious and delightful that corn is. Now, we reviewed the information that came out of Cornfest not too long ago, right? And like I said, the ladies down there are tough. This bottom portion that I read to you tells you exactly what you need to know. Come in there. Come in the door, wave in the fofo. A wrestling match, one adult Tabor male. What if the lady was absolutely shit kicking the guy? And then it got to the, they got there and they're like, whoa, what's going on here? And she just like flipped it and was like, Tabor ladies are tough. That's why I'm saying this. I'm not saying that there's anything funny about that. I'm just saying. What if the lady was absolutely shit canning the fella? And they're like, what the hell is going on here? And Big Man is just like, she's beating the hell out of me. And they're like, yeah, okay. Yeah, right. It's just this underground legend of Tabor that all the ladies are capable of beating up the men, and only the town knows. The police officers that they bring in, they're like, yeah, all right. Yeah, we've heard this one before. That is beautiful. So you're telling me somebody stuck up a fucking corn stand. Great find, Nick. I'm sure I would have seen this at some point, but thank you for sending me this. Now let's get into the funnest portion of this show. The one I love the most. We're going to start off with, now I did say that I encourage the hate mail on the show, right? I encourage some sort of hatred towards me. Well, it was none of you, I will say. It was none of you that I know of. Maybe this is you. I don't know. It seemed to be, there's a lot of smoke and mirrors lately. But this is quite funny. It got sent to me on Instagram. Somebody DM'd me screenshots of this. And then I had to go and read it because it was too good. But this is in the Reddit thread of Kamloops. And first off, there's an asterisk reporting because the last article was misinformation. The article was photoshopped. Oh, really? That's funny. So they posted. Oh, right. Okay. So I seen two. There was one where it was the article. And then the all right, I'm picking up. But I found this. Okay. Recently, an ad for some, in quotation, comedians that are coming to your town had popped up on my phone. And being a fan of the arts, I'd figured I'd check out some of their stuff online before possibly purchasing a ticket. And what I heard and say was completely, what the fuck? What I heard and probably maybe seen was completely out of line. The rhetoric this trio performed, you can tell, came from a place of hatred. The reason I'm writing this is so the community is aware of what's going to be taking place in Kamloops. After going to their YouTube channel, it is clear they are convoy supporters, to even going to Coots border blockade to document their own version of what happened. What? The fuck is that? I just went there. Yeah, I guess it would be the own.
Gay!
To give you an example of the type of person, one of them are, here's a photo I found on his Instagram. It's just my stupid ass wearing a blackface Trudeau hoodie. Okay. I even saw one of their Instagram posts celebrating a cancellation and championing an article that had been written about them for extreme behavior on stage. Hope this all finds you well, and just figured I'd help keep the kind of community aware of what kind of acts are coming through the community. That is beautiful. Thank you very much for writing that. I don't know if does that work? I wonder if that works. Does that deter people or make them want to go more? Do you think like how many people were maybe seeing our ad online that we're putting it out there that we're coming to Kamloops, and then they see this and they're like, oh yeah, I should believe what this, and the funny thing is what was let's go back for a second here. This is the best. The username is quite funny. Somebody pointed that out in the comments. Say, Fairy Feminist 02. So, I mean, like, does that work? Does it deter people from coming from shows? I don't know. That's like the answer that I seek to understand and know. It's like, does that method work? Anyway, that's the hate mail I received. But the fan question. Let's get into more important things here, and let's talk about the fellas sending me there. As always, unclehack at dangercats.tv. Shoot us an email with your fan question, and we'll answer it. It doesn't matter really what it is. It could be a fan statement for all I care. Hate mail, just you want to call somebody names, send it to me. Just call me the names. We'll read it out on here and have a good time while doing it. Okay, here we go. Fan question. Hey, I forgot to mention, we can keep it anonymous as you want. I'm not going to out you. That's not what I'm intending to do. I'm entirely selfish when it comes to this portion of the show. But if you want your name in there, just mention it. And if you don't, as you see, I don't put no one's name in there. I'm not about to go out and be like, yeah, this person. Other than if it's on public forums like that, which we just read on Reddit, then I'll just read it directly off there. And if there's a name attached to it, then we'll read the name. But I'm not really interested in doxing people. That doesn't seem that much fun for me right now. I'm more interested in provoking more people like our Reddit friend there, writing more horrendous shit about me. I find that stuff, or even, possibly, talking shit about me or whatever. You know what? At the end of the day, it's more so about if you're talking about us. It doesn't matter what it is. It's if you're talking about us. To me, that's a sign of I'm on a successful path. So when shit like that pops up, that is beautiful. I appreciate it. It not only it helps us more, maybe. I don't know. Depending on the community, I guess. My fiance wants to get tattoos for each other to celebrate the wedding. Which isn't a big deal to me. Yeah, cool. We're getting married. That's great, honey. I want to get, sorry, I don't speak Chinese on my forearm. I assume that this is going to be in like Mandarin or some sort. Do you think that's racist? I personally have always wanted that tattoo, and it would be a forever joke I could take to the grave. Thanks. Fuck yeah. No. Why would that be racist? That's just funny. Why does everything that revolves around different cultures in North America have to be deemed racist? You make a comment about something. Oh, that's racist. We're so quick to be like, oh, everything is racist. Who cares? Funny is funny. That's funny. It's something you've wanted for a while. Hey, you know how many white women went and got like Chinese sayings, and the person tattooing those Chinese sayings just wrote like probably whore or whatever they wanted at that moment in time on them. And they walked around thinking that they have an inspirational quote on them. Is that racist? Is that racist that they have that? That they got branded with the wrong words on their back? That's so funny that people were actually doing that. Sorry, I don't speak. This is entirely fine. You're going for the joke. It's funny. Go for it. Now, if you said like, sorry, I don't speak chink. Now that's racist. That's entirely, that is racist. If you went out and said that, I don't speak ching chong, maybe we might be sifting into some waters we shouldn't possibly be taking this little plane or sailing this little boat into. Maybe we shouldn't do that. But I don't see anything wrong with that. And I'm also the beacon of knowing racial relations and where the pulse is of this country, right? I'm definitely the one to speak to about this type of stuff because I understand where everything that there is to know about race. I am deeply educated. I've been to numerous colleges across the country. I've studied this type of horse shit for quite some time, and if anything, I'm definitely the guy that is going to steer you in the right direction. So if I'm being honest, my friend, I don't think it's racist enough. if I'm being completely honest with you, I think maybe you go with my previous statement, you know? Honestly, I don't think you're going deep enough or you're not sailing too far out into the ocean with this one. I don't think you went far enough. I think it's kind of pathetic that you're not willing to. Sorry, I don't speak Chinese. That's a little weak, isn't it? Why aren't you tailing off? Huh? Why aren't you going a little further with it? That's what I'm saying. Personally, I've always wanted that tattoo, and it would be a forever joke I take to the grave. Get the N-word in Chinese tattooed on you. You know? Now that's a joke. Does he have the balls to do it? That's the thing. You imagine he ends up he's over in China, and they're like, oh yeah, this guy's based as hell. He's got the N-word tattooed on him. This guy's hardcore. That's where you need to go with the joke, my friend. It's not racist enough. That's what we say a lot around here. It's not racist enough. And with that being said, I just want to say thank you for listening to another episode of the Unclehack Podcast. Thank you for tuning in. It's always a good time to get here. I know maybe this one might have been a little flat. Your boy's a little tired. Fresh off the road, fresh off 2 hot shows down there in Calgary at the Comedy Cave with the Danger Room. Myself, Brett Forte, Sam Walker all did a half hour and recorded it. We're putting together a little album of all of our shit. I don't know what I'm going to do with it yet. We'll see, but we will find out very shortly once it's edited and in my hands. But more than likely, I'll release it on the Patreon, and you can hear it. You can hear a live album of all of us, or just me. I don't know what those guys are willing to let me do with that. But yeah, anyways, catch this episode catch this podcast every Thursday at 3 p.m. Mountain Standard Time. And thank you for tuning in to the Unclehack Podcast, and we will see you next week.